I mean, I got divorced, and it is cheaper to keep her, probably for a fact. But I mean,
This mother.
it's
Anthony, shout out to you, bro. I think that's something that's admirable and beautiful, bro. It takes a real mature person to sit there and talk about that, bro.
it is still cheaper to keep her.
No,
I mean,
no.
dude, you're talking.
All right. What's up, friends and family? It's June the Realtor, and I'm still riding the energy from today's episode of JTR that I just had with Davey Oliveira. But I've got another heavyweight joining me today. His name is Mr. Anthony Castillo. He's the owner and founder of Eminent Energy, California's top-rated solar company. Huge shout out to Anthony. He's a proud veteran who reached out through Josh, one of my clients, but also one of my great friends. I've known Josh for a very, very long time. He's introduced me to Andy. Andy is my producer, or our producer, I should say, and he's a great guy. Anthony's a trailblazer. He's a father of two with over $150 million in solar sales. Okay, it's one thing if you're an agent and you're doing $150 million in sales, right? But solar sales, that's insane. He's disrupting the industry with his unstoppable mindset. Today, we're going to be breaking down three major segments, okay? First one we're going to be talking about is mentality and mindset. Second is going to be solar business and education. And third and lastly, as I like to do on every June the Realtor podcast show, we talk about legacy and future vision. And so with that being said, let's light this up and jump right into mentality and mindset. Anthony, welcome onto my show, brother. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you, man. Happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. I know you come from a little bit of a veteran background, right? Which takes a lot of grit to get out there and join the military, man. I think some people join and they don't know what they signed themselves up for, but they end up learning a lot of things through the military. And so one of the first questions that I want to ask you, because my friend Josh has taught me a lot about you, he's mentioned that you have a really hardworking personality. Can you tell me what forged your mentality today?
Well, I mean, pretty much, yeah, man. I'm super happy to be on your show. So pretty much, the biggest thing is just taking advantage of the opportunity. So I grew up, probably like a lot of people, welfare, food stamps back in the day. I'm 37. So a lot of younger people might not know. Back in the day, when you had food stamps, it was actually like cash. I don't know if you're familiar, but it was.
I'm a little younger, bro. I'm like 25.
Okay, so it was actually like a dollar bill, but it was like a food stamp money. So that's how I grew up, and I just remember going to I think it was, I don't even remember the Evergreen. It was a store, and just feeling kind of like embarrassed of having to be with my mom and pay for the food with that. So when my boys were born and I became a father, it's just that drive and commitment to not, that's our job as fathers, is to give our children a better circumstance than what we came from.
Correct.
So that's my biggest motivation, is just taking care of my children, teaching them what I didn't have, so that they can go further than I am.
Right. And I like having kids, bro, that like changes your mentality 100%. I mean, it should to the average person like you and I who are like, who want better. Having kids should push you to want the absolute best for your kids.
Yeah.
And it puts like a booster in your jetpack that like you never could imagine. I know Josh feels that way. I know Andy feels that way. And I feel that way. Like kids will do something to you. And especially not wanting to provide them the same life that you received. You sometimes you'll like work twice as hard just to make sure that doesn't happen, that you don't give them the same life you gave them, or that you got.
100%. Yeah, man.
Now, you served in the military. What branch did you serve in, man?
I was in the Navy. So I joined 2008 as a corpsman, so a medic.
Okay.
So I was
worked alongside the Marines.
Yeah, I was stationed in 29 Palms
Okay.
for a couple years. Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Hot as hell.
And then I was with at Balboa Hospital here, kind of near downtown. So I worked in a couple different like dermatology in the NICU, so neonatal intensive care unit. That actually, honestly, was my biggest. I think a lot of veterans have, what sets us apart is we go through the boot camp, your A school training, and then you're in the military. And it's different when you're in the military. You actually are property of the United States government.
Right.
So the standards that you have to be way higher. And when you're doing that for 4 years, I did 5 years, you're developing a certain standard that your work ethic is dialed in. So I mean, I got out of the Navy. I wasn't planning to get out. Like I had surgery on both my feet.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to go back with the Marine Corps. I picked up E5, I think in 3.5 years as a corpsman. Average time's like 8 years.
Right.
So there, my master chief was like, "Oh, you're on the fast tracks. Re-enlist, stay in." And they gave me orders to Guam. I didn't want to go, so I got out, and it was hard. It was really hard. I mean, sure, a lot of veterans understand when you're part of something, and then you get out, and you kind of lose that. You lose that uniform, that purpose. It was hard getting out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so to give you some background a little bit about myself, my spouse, Divine, she was a medic in the Air Force, and it's kind of interesting to see how you pivoted, because a lot of people, she joined at 18, right? And she got in. Her recruiter told her, she was like, she wanted to become an MP at first because her family's all law enforcement, and she was like, no, or he was the recruiter was like, no, you're not going to be an MP. That's not what you're going to do. You're going to be a medic. She was like, what? What's a medic? Like, what am I going to do? And sure enough, she took it. She ran with it. And she became a nurse. And so it's interesting to see that. Like, that wasn't you went into the military. You were a corpsman. And then you didn't follow that same path, right? You could have been an EMT, you could have done anything, but you switched up and you pivoted.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I always wanted to be a cop growing up too.
No way.
So when I went to the recruiter's office, I wanted to be an MP as well with the Navy, but they're like, that's not available. It's not open. My recruiter was a Filipino guy. And he was like, "Oh, you're gonna, I researched, so I wasn't like swindled."
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's a funny story. I got out, and I am not smart. So like becoming a
I
nurse,
beg to differ.
Reading and learning all those medications and the calculations and all that kind of stuff. I was like, damn, and I didn't really want to do that. So I was going to school, bouncing around from kind of, driving Lyft and Uber, going to school using my GI Bill. I think I was taking a criminal justice course. Have you ever seen that show Locked Up?
Yeah. I've heard of it.
I was watching that show, doing criminal justice, and my brother-in-law was in Alaska. He's like, dude, apply at the prison here. They'll hire you. You're a veteran. So I actually applied to be a correctional officer for the state of Alaska, and they hired me.
Whoa.
And so they flew me up. I moved to Alaska. I was working in the only maximum security prison for a year. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do this. So I had that journey for a year after my military. And that again, man, that bro, holy shit, dude. That was 7 days on, 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, nuts.
That's 84 hours a week.
Nuts.
Walking around on concrete. So, I mean, we'll get into like solar and door to door, but like doing something compared to other jobs and possibilities, it's a breeze here in San Diego.
No, yeah. No, we'll get to solar. Like that's why I do this, man, because I want to ease into that. Because like a lot of people, I want people to know Anthony Castillo, right? Like who is he? Where did he come from? What did he do? Like to give you background again, like on my family, like my brother-in-law was an MP in the Navy. My mother-in-law right now is a sheriff deputy, 25 years in. And so, like, she works in the jails. My fiance right now, Divine, she works in the jails as a nurse. So, like, like law enforcement and whatnot, like, is all within. It's like entrenched in my in-laws family.
Nice.
And so
it's not easy, man.
No, it ain't easy. You were not only isolated in like the furthest state from the continental U.S., right, but also at the same time, like, you were isolated also in that facility, man. And so for a whole year, that tells me you must have been thinking about something while you were there. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I was thinking like honestly, I was thinking, damn, man, this sucks. It's just dude, 12 hours a day. And you're the new person. So they're like, hey, Castillo, you're staying for a 4 hour hold. So I'm doing 84, 96 hours a week. And every other week they rotate you to nights. It's
Oh,
I was like, dude, what am I can't do this. Alaska, if you guys ever want to go somewhere, I haven't been to too many places, but Seward, Alaska, especially in the winter, is the most beautiful place.
really?
It's freaking beautiful, beautiful to go travel and visit. Um, so I ended it after a year there. Came back down here, kept going to school, and I called one of my. Actually, I met him. I met somebody on social media while I was there. I was taking photos. I'm not a good photographer, but I was taking photos and posting them on Instagram, and I was putting hashtag like corpsman, veteran, and somebody from Oceanside saw my post, and he used to live in Alaska, so we became friends.
That's
He
crazy.
was a Marine veteran, and he's the one who we would call, talk to each other, how you doing, blah blah blah, talk about family, and he told me, hey, I'm getting solar.
Oh,
And I'm like, damn, you must be rich because I knew solar is expensive. So I was like, damn, how much are you paying? And he's like, it's free. And so yeah, we'll get into that. But that's yeah, man. Social media, I tell all my guys, you guys need to be on social media. You need to be networking. You need to be making content. You need to be making clips. Because if I wouldn't have joined the Department of Corrections in Alaska, I wouldn't be here
correct.
because
Yeah,
I went, everything's a season in our life, part of the journey. Like it sucked, but I went through it and it led me to the path that I'm on right now. So,
no, I love that, man. I mean, that's good for the audience to know. I want the audience to know that. Like, for example, Josh told me a lot about your dedication to work, and he it's funny. Like, I really hope he sees this because he tells me you talk shit to him all the time. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, what are you not recording? What are you doing? You know, like, and nonetheless, like, we'll circle back into the solar aspect of it because I love that. I love that. I think that's what that's the social media aspect. By the way, I got to say, you do a great job with posting yourself out there. You do a great job of like influencing through social media, and I think that is one of your greatest gifts. Aside from like the stuff that I don't see, which is like I'm not, I'm obviously like I don't sell solar, but I've told you though, like right now, like social media, you're killing it. Period. Before I jump into the business aspect of it all, I wanted to ask you because obviously I had a chance to talk to Andy, and Andy kind of informed me a little bit. But he said you're a father of two, right? How do you maintain discipline and balance while conducting your business, right? You seem to be pretty busy. How do you balance discipline and then also being a father of two?
you know, honestly, I mean, anybody who's an entrepreneur knows this. Personally, I believe it's easier to be an entrepreneur and balance your family life versus if I had a 9 to 5. It'd be way easier, honestly, because if you have a 9 to 5, you're waking up 6 in the morning, you're getting ready, you're gonna be stuck in an hour and a half commute to go to work. You're gonna be there for 8 to 9 hours, you're gonna drive another hour and a half back. You're seeing your kids at the end of the day.
Yep.
And you know what? That's one of the biggest things. I was at UCSD. So after I came back from Alaska, I was at UCSD. I got a new job. I was the clinical coordinator for the medical director and the director. I had to wear a tie. I was in a little cubicle. So I was in healthcare. And I remember I just started, and my baby boy Aiden, he had to go to a dentist appointment, so he must have been like 2 years old or something. And I had to ask for permission to get a day off or some time off to go take him. And I remember the way they made me feel was like, you just got here. You're so lucky to have this job, and you're asking for a time off already. And I hated that feeling.
Yes.
But now, as running your owning your own time, if you're actually disciplined and you can work, a lot of people have negative content. They're like, hey, entrepreneurship doesn't work. You're gonna have months where you're like making 10,000, and some months you're making nothing.
Correct.
Is that true? Yes and no. But for it depends on who's actually working. If you're consistent, you're gonna have way more free time.
Correct.
So personally, I view it's very easy for me to set aside time for my boys and whatever I want to do. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna drive to Utah, go visit
No way.
family for like probably 3 or 4 days.
Where?
We can do whatever we want.
Where in Utah? If you don't mind me
Um,
asking.
you know Lehigh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Provo, Lehigh.
Yeah, yeah. I actually, so before I was a realtor, I did loans. Like I did quite a bit of loans, and some of the loans that I've done is out there, like in Ogden. I've done some in Lehigh. I've done some in St. George.
Beautiful area,
Yeah, bro,
dude.
fantastic area and fantastic people, bro. People that move there, like they just, they love being there. But I'm glad you shared that though, man, because that like I hit a break. Like I've shared this before, but I hit a breaking point like in November of last year because like not everybody wants to work the 9 to 5, right? I don't. I've never adopted that mentality a day in my life. My dad had 25 Cricket wireless stores. That's how I grew up. Actually, is my dad having stores. That's how I met Josh. Believe it or not, Josh managed 7 of my dad's stores, and I grew up selling cell phones right in the store. I as I had worked like the 9 to 5, right? There was a certain point in time where I had to. Just to get to where I am today, like it helped me out. But at the end of the day, like I would not take the 9 to 5 over my children ever again, ever again. Like
Yeah.
I'll show homes with my daughter, and she's like 13 months, bro. But I will never work the like fuck the 9 to 5. I mean,
Yeah.
if your back is against the wall, you have no other choice. You have to do it for a short period of time. Great, but if you're a hustler, you're an entrepreneur. You are not just sitting there doing nothing. Like you're making sure, like, okay, I'll work the 9 to 5 to get some extra dough in my pocket, but I'm not gonna be enslaved to the 9 to 5.
Yeah, man. I mean, people don't really understand. Like, I was very oblivious. I didn't know that there were sales. I didn't know about the sales industry. I was working at UCSD. I was listening to Andy Frisella,
Oh, I love
Gary
that.
V. I was listening to podcasts, and I heard there's Gary V. You know Gary V.
Yeah, yeah, I know Gary. Yeah,
He had a
super controversial too, but
he had he had a guest on his show called Reezy Resales, and this dude was talking about selling books. And I was like, what? He was saying like, hey man, I'm selling all these books, making a ton of money. So that actually got me into sales. I started flipping books on Amazon. Like our first year, we sold like $250,000 of used books.
no
I was
way.
going to the Goodwills thrift stores with the scanner on the back of my phone, scanning every book, buying them for $1.99, selling them for my average sell price was like $22. So there was a big
Dude,
profit
I'm
margin.
in shock right now.
Yeah. So, but again, that is very time consuming. It was time consuming.
No, undoubtedly it's time consuming, but this is a great. I'm going to take a teaching lesson here for the audience. If you feel like your back is against the wall and you can't get like you feel like you're not getting anywhere, that's like a nugget. You need to like cherish that and like really understand what you just said. This guy made it work. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. This is this goes to show you guys, you can make $1 out of anything. But like he said, right? Sometimes is your time worth it? Is your time worth the energy that you're putting in? Now, granted, when your back's against the wall, a dollar means a lot. Like $1 means a lot, undoubtedly. But wow, bro, that is insane. So how old were you when you did that, if you don't mind me asking?
That was probably 2015. So I was probably 29,
29?
28. I'm bad
Dude,
at math.
so you're pretty, no, so you seem like, you strike me as a pretty young guy, bro. You don't got a lot of gray hairs in your beard. Like, you're a pretty young guy. How old are you now?
37.
37, dude. Dude, shout out to you, brother.
So yeah,
That is like thinking outside the box on the fucking max.
the biggest the thing is people can do anything, right, to make money. So like our biggest flip, we bought a portable VHS player. I didn't even know that existed. So it's a VHS player with a pop-up screen. We paid like $20 from the Goodwill. We sold it on Amazon for like $350.
No.
So
No.
you guys could do that, right? That's cool. But when I actually got into sales, that is scalable. The big part that's scalable is leveraging other people's network, which is what you're doing right now. What I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
both doing
leverage
it.
your network. I'm gonna get in front of people. And so yeah, man, my best month ever in the sales industry, was $280,000. I believe in a
Wow.
single month, December
And
2022.
this is solar, right? This
Yeah.
is okay. So for the audience, because the audience sometimes they don't like again they don't understand this. Like real estate is different than solar, but $280,000 is no joke, you guys. For solar, if you're pushing weight, you're pushing paper here. Like $280,000 is a big deal. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. Continue.
Yeah, so the solar's a great. I mean, just like you said, anything, right? The market is being disrupted right now. The solar industry is there's crazy stuff happening with the laws, Congress, all this stuff. And so I've pivoted and I'm going to start offering solar panel cleaning.
Oh, I
I
like that.
I went
That's a business within a business.
it's a low ticket ancillary item. It's low ticket. I mean, but I'm like, wait, can how could I sell this? How could I do it? So I didn't have a pitch. I just went out, started knocking on doors. I talked to 3 homeowners. But the first two were like, oh, we have somebody. The third one I talked to, I closed them for $199. And the next day, we went out there. He had a leak on his roof. We charged him. He was quoted 600 to fix the leak. I charged him 300 to fix it. So like, dude, anybody like, dude, you can go knock on doors to clean windows to do anything. But the reality is, most people are too lazy. They say they want success. I've recruited hundreds of people.
Mhm.
Literally, I have recruited hundreds of people. Someone's gonna watch this. I don't even recruit anybody anymore, honestly, because so many people they're fucking time wasting lazy peasants.
Yes,
They're literally,
I
oh, I
agree.
saw you, blah blah blah. They call me, and then I'm like, dude, I can't. I honestly don't hire anybody anymore. I have partners like you're a partner.
Yeah, I
You
am.
do business, you send me, we close it together.
I will say this. Can I just plug this in really quick? Like I don't have anybody else solar that I work with. So like I work with Eminent Solar. I work with I like I have no problem flip flopping. All right. Like I know if I work with Josh, it somehow gets back to you too. But I have no problem like dishing out deals left and right. If I have the opportunity available to me, why wouldn't I take that as an entrepreneur myself? Right. So again, like for me, I think seeing the opportunity, the beauty that you bring with Eminent Energy is for somebody like me, and it's not even just me. It could be anybody walking down the street. Like you're willing to compensate or to help people through the commissions if they refer people over to you, right?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, real quick, I want to dial back just a sec. What are some of you're like very disciplined, right? From my take, at least from what I see. What are some of the key traits you believe every successful entrepreneur, whether you're real estate, you're doing mortgages, you're doing solar, you're doing whatever. What are some of the key traits you believe every successful entrepreneur needs?
My biggest thing is just routine. So having a routine that you're sticking by, there's there's a lot of people in the solar industry who have made I've made millions of dollars. I know a lot of people who have made millions of dollars, and the thing that sets everybody apart is the factor of when you're feeling like you don't want to go work, when you got in a fight with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and you're able to separate yourself from your emotions and still show up. That's the biggest thing that sets people apart. Just staying committed and disciplined to your routine, regardless of how the external circumstances are going around in your life. That's it. Like if people can do that, they can't fail at anything. But unfortunately, we have an instant gratification society where we can watch the whole season of Game of Thrones. I order toys. My son's like, I want this. It's here literally the same day. We order food, it comes to our door. And so when people get into the sales industry as a realtor in solar or whatever, and they don't have immediate success, they quit in 2 weeks. And it's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? Are you
Yeah.
an idiot?
Why?
I just showed you the blueprint how you can be successful, and you quit after 2 weeks. And not even that. You gave 15% effort. So biggest thing, consistency and just separating yourself from emotions and sticking with something for 6 months of working your ass off. Like if
Right.
you actually stick with something for 6 months, you can't fail.
Correct. So that's a word to anybody, right? If you stay consistent with whatever the fuck you're doing, doesn't matter. Like I can speak to this personally. You think real estate's linear? Like selling homes is linear? Hell no. It takes consistency. It takes trying to invest into your name. Anybody could be a Cindy Miller, right? Or a Juan Rodriguez, but there's one June the Realtor, right? And there's one Anthony Castillo in solar. And so my point, like, this is a great teaching opportunity for some of those that like just are spineless. Like great word for that is spineless. If you're not 100% passionate about what the hell you're doing, like don't even consider it. Just move on. For me personally, like real estate's one of those things, and I know you feel this way about solar. It's like one of those things that's really, it weighs on your mind. It's very passionate about you. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here talking about it today.
Yeah, I'll say this. Not saying you're wrong, but a lot of times you have Instagram with this fake narrative bullshit of you have to find something that you love or that you're happy doing. I'm very open about this. I'm a major introvert. Not really so much anymore. But when I started solar, I kid you not, I was dude, I had a panic attack. I literally called 911. I thought I was having a fucking heart attack. No, I've never felt like that in my life. I was married at the time. I called and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die right now. I had to go to the ER. But so I had social fear. I hated knocking on doors. I hated people. I hate people. I'm not a bullshitter. Some people are like, oh, I love how you're so straightforward. I'm like, why the fuck isn't everybody straightforward? Like, I genuinely don't like most people. I hate knocking on doors. And so I was not passionate about doing this. What I was passionate about, which helped me overcome my fear and anxiety and the stress of having to talk to strangers, was my baby boys.
Oh,
some of you don't need to be fathers, so don't go get someone pregnant. It's not going to work for you. You're lazy, you're lazy. But now that I've gotten some money, I love cooking. I love cooking. I love cooking.
So is that like your hobby? Like, what do you...
Hobby? Yeah, I mean, it's actually something that I find joy in is when I cook a meal.
Really?
And I'm just, maybe it's kind of like a weird thing. I'll just like be in the corner and watch how you eat. And if you like it, I'll be like, oh, damn. It makes me feel good that they loved my food. So my grandma she swam from the Rio Grande River from Mexico to Texas, which, is controversy going on with this. I'm kind of like on both sides because my ex-wife's Filipino. We have a big Filipino community in San Diego.
Yeah.
The Filipinos know they have to wait for 10 plus years to have their fucking family come here legally. Yep. So they know. And then on the other side, when you have family like my grandma came here illegally, she came here to work and she got legal or whatever.
Correct, yeah.
So she had restaurants in Texas.
Oh, dude, hey, real quick, I'm gonna add a fourth segment in here because I think I haven't had an opportunity, like real quick, bro. I haven't had an opportunity to talk politics, and I really want June the Realtor out there in politics. And I don't care if you fucking hate me for whatever I believe, but I think the fourth segment I'm gonna talk about real quick. At the end of this, is we'll talk about politics, but let's go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. So my grandma, she opened up restaurants in Texas. I lived with her a little while in Brady, Texas.
Okay.
And Eden, Texas, which Eden is the exact heart of Texas. She had the 87 Cafe, and I would go there. I would cook with her. I'd serve. I'd clean the tables. I'd do the dishes. So getting into sales, making money.
Yep.
That if you're new in the sales industry, don't look at it like, hey, I didn't grow up saying I wanted to be a door-to-door salesman. That's not cool. That's not sexy. I wanted to be a cop. That didn't work out for me, so I got into door-to-door sales. Now I can take what I've learned and get into something I am actually really passionate about. But yeah.
No, I think that's beautiful, man. Like I have a friend of mine who, and I hope he hears this, Morales. I hope you hear this. He's he loves cooking. Right, he's one of those guys. Like he was a Marine vet, believe it or not. I love him. He pushed paper though. He was majority of his work was done in the office. But he's out now, right? He went and got his he got his he's in barber school now, but he went out and got a culinary degree, right? He went out and got a bartending degree, and look, at the end of the day, like when he comes over to my house, like he's single right now. He told me he loves cooking. That's his big thing, and I think that's admirable, man. Because there's something about cooking too that like us as humans, there's only like a few things that we know like together, and one of the most human things you can do is enjoy food with one another, and I think that's so freaking cool, man. That fact that you can scale it back from like from solar and be like, you know what, man, I actually enjoy. I have a passion about cooking, but to transition over to like the second segment that I wanted to talk to you about, and I think that a lot of the audience wants to know. I would definitely want to know, and I think this is something you're very well versed on. I want you to walk us through your journey in solar. I want you to talk about how you were able to scale your business over $150 million in sales. I want you to talk about that because a lot of the audience needs to understand whether you're in real estate, you're lending, you're whatever, it doesn't matter. $150 million in sales is no joke and is not to be taken lightly, especially by somebody like Anthony Castillo. So walk us through that. How did you scale this business over $150 million?
Yeah, that's funny. I had to sit down and calculate. It's over 200 million now. But
Wow.
I had to calculate that. And I had actually paid Wes, Wes Watson?
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of controversy going around him, but I paid him a few years to coach me. I
Really?
paid him 20,000.
I think Josh was the one who had mentioned Wes Watson to me because I ended up adding him on Instagram. I didn't know he was like this big freaking bulking like
Yeah.
tough dude. But
He's going off the rails right now a little bit, but I had told him, I'm like, yeah, man, I've sold a lot, and I told him the number, and he's like, dude, holy fuck, I have guys that. So what the issue that's going on right now with social media is you have all these gurus who have never sold anything, and they're making a sales course teaching you how to sell a sales course. And it's like, that's why I've always never wanted to make a training course, because it's just, I don't like that part of it. But so
that's crazy.
I started with Vivint Solar.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know very well of Vivint Solar.
Yeah, so that's how I got started. I had no prior sales experience at all. Like I said, extreme introvert. I didn't even want to do it. I had a job offer with UCSD, and they're giving me the job offer or get into solar sales. And I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna try the sales out. And my first 60 days, I had closed, I think, 29 deals. My first 60 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
This is, let me, hold on, just to take it back. Was this from door knocking? What was,
100% door knocking.
shut the,
Yeah.
hold on. This guy, that is a lot, that's a lot of sales
100% door knock.
from door knocking. That's crazy.
Yeah. And that was a record, I think, for the whole office.
It better have been. That's insane. That's a lot from door knocking.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine, okay, hold on, like pause. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be over dramatic here, but I'm just saying, like, imagine being a realtor and you're going on 60 doors and you got 60 sales. That shit doesn't happen. Like,
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead, continue.
So the big thing that I learned was I'm getting a lot of people that are very interested, and they're saying the same thing. Hey, Anthony, we love you, man. You're a great guy. I connected with everybody. I'm a veteran. A lot of people in San Diego are veterans, and they were saying, hey, you know what? We love you, man. June, the realtor, we looked you up, bro. But the company you're working with, we can't do business with you. So I kept hearing that. I closed a ton of deals, but greater than 50% would cancel because they looked up Vivint's reviews.
Oh.
Shortly after, probably a year and a half into it, Sunrun came and they purchased Vivint. And they had the same issue with social online presence. Like, reviews are horrible. So I said, damn, man, I'm losing a lot of business and customers. So then I left Sunrun and I started working with a broker. So that essentially is allowing me to offer any product to people.
Correct.
So I was working with a broker, Legacy Power. The owner pretty much like wasn't doing anything. I was running the whole office, the whole team. So I ended up leaving to another dealership, and same thing. Like, I was running, doing everything. They tried to decrease the commission. And I said, wait a minute, like, I'm already running and doing everything. Why don't I just start my own company?
Correct.
So that's how Eminent was started. Out of necessity, really. Like, I was tired of getting pretty much getting stolen from. Like, so I started my own company. It wasn't easy. Like, you're gonna learn everything as you go.
Correct.
That's a big thing that I see people do. They wanna learn everything first and then go.
Right.
Hey, that's not how things work in real life. So, I mean, there's one point we built it up to like 70 sales reps.
You
Now
talking about Eminent, or are you talking about Visit?
Eminent, yeah.
Sorry, Sunrun.
No, Eminent.
Eminent. 70.
Sunrun, they have like 3 offices in San Diego. They have a total of 500 salespeople.
Yeah.
So that's it, man. I pretty much copied their model of hiring and training. Sunrun's model. I just copied it, implemented it into my own company, and I mean that's it. The rest is history.
No, I think it's beautiful, man. I mean, I've heard a lot of negative. Like, I'm not trying to be like a prick when I say this, but I've heard a lot of negative things from Sunrun. I have a best friend of mine who, they'll probably never work with Sunrun again because they had an issue with their roof that just really like impacted them negatively. And I think that wasn't the only one. I've heard of multiple situations. But I'm glad that you kind of have taken it. It sounds like you've taken solar and you've really ran with it, right? Now, I think one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk to you about with solar, and again, I'm not super well versed with this stuff, man, so I appreciate you for really coming on today. But with the new solar policy changes about credit phasing out for residential, what does that really mean for home buyers right now? What is that? How is that going to implicate like my clientele in the future?
Yeah, great question. So pretty much right now in California, we're currently in net metering 3.0.
And for those that don't know, what is net metering? Explain that for us really quick.
Yeah, so net metering 3.0 is pretty much you get solar in a battery, you produce your own power, and you store it at your property on site with the battery. So you're pretty much your own power plant. Very, very clean system. Net metering 2.0, those people don't have a battery, and they have a relationship where the utility company stores the power for them and they get it back at nighttime. Beautiful relationship.
I love that.
Congress just passed the One Big Beautiful Bill, which is going to end the solar tax credit this year.
Real quick, only passed through the House, not the Senate, correct?
Yeah, correct. So the Senate votes July 4th.
Okay, so that's coming up here pretty quick.
Yeah, and they're pretty much going to, it looks like they're going to pass it. What they're going to do is they're going to remove the PPA. So the PPA is a power purchase agreement. Essentially, a third-party finance company pays for the system, the equipment, the maintenance, and the homeowner buys the power from them for 25 years. That's going to go away. In California, that's the best option right now because batteries only last for 10 years.
Right.
So having a finance company warranty and replace the battery for 25 years is amazing. So yeah, if there's homeowners that don't have solar yet, you miss net metering 2, you miss net metering 3, you better get installed by the end of this year. Actually, probably only really realistically have till like November to do it. Solar is not going to go away in California. We'll still be able to sell it.
Right.
But the difference is instead of saving right now, I guarantee to save anybody 50% compared to the utility company.
Right.
If they wait January next year, maybe I won't be able to save them 50%. Maybe they'll be saving 10%.
Right.
10%. I mean, some people are on the phone with Geico for 45 minutes to save 5%. So will I still, I'll still be closing deals. I mean, today's price is the best.
That's fucking hilarious. I love that. And I hope that, is this your first time dropping that on air? Or have you said that before?
No. Well, on air, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I've literally knocked on people's door and I say, hey, what's going on? My name's Anthony. We're doing the energy update. This is an IQ test. Like I literally tell them, you're paying 55 cents to SDG&E. We're going to give you 22 cents. It's an IQ test.
Yeah.
And they fail all the time.
Yep. I mean, it happens. It it happens. It happens. And the reason is, look, we're in an industry, especially with real estate, with solar, with lending. We're in a real estate where we're in a sphere, I should say, where the average Joe Schmo, you're right, with a low IQ will not pick up what the hell we're saying. And so it makes sense. Now, let me ask you this. What do most homeowners need to know right now before going solar? What do they need to know?
Biggest thing, key points. There's no loan. There's no debt. There's no lien. There's no lease.
No lien.
There's no lien. There's no out-of-pocket expense.
So I had real quick. I had a issue this weekend with a client because I have a client who's purchasing a home. He had the seller had a lien against the property for their solar. They had fought this solar company, I guess, tooth and nail. And long story short, in order for us to sell the home, they needed to clear the title, and there was a lien against the property because of the solar.
Was it a finance system?
It was a finance system, and unfortunately, like they went to court over it, everything, and the lien was still there. And the seller said, "You know what? I'm gonna pay the difference because this person's buying my house. My buyer is buying this house, and I don't want to delay this person. Fuck it. I'll pay $4,000 or $5,000. Let's get it done and get it over with."
Yeah. So when I say that, it's true for me. Like what we do, there's no lien. Other companies in the past, historically, like if they do like a hero program or whatever, and they put that stuff on like the taxes or the title of the property, that's horrible. What we do, 99.9, is a PPA, power purchase agreement. It's guaranteed to transfer to the new homeowner regardless of credit. So there
Okay.
is no credit check for them. On a loan, if we give them a loan and their DTI is crazy, and now let's say they fail credit, the seller will have to pay off the system. They can't transfer it. And I educate everybody I work with.
I love that.
Not many people want to buy solar.
I love that.
But if they do, I let them know, like, hey, these are the pros and cons.
No, 100%. Like it doesn't matter what industry you're in, guys. I take pride in June the Realtor. I take pride in what I do. Why? Because I educate people. I educate people. It's a big, like, I don't even care. At the end of the day, when you buy a house with June, you're gonna learn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things. Very important. So thank you for sharing that, because that means a lot to my audience, especially in this field. Like I'm not totally educated with solar, and you're educating me as we're going along now. But I think that's super cool, man. I mean, that's what sets you apart. That's what sets Eminent Energy apart.
What one last thing, real quick?
Go ahead.
Piggyback off that question.
Yeah.
The other thing consumers, homeowners need to know is you need to shop around. Like you'll have the Sunrun rep knock on the door. They'll try to close it, get the contract signed same day, lock them in. Like that's cool. The reality is, at Eminent Energy, we pay 200 to 400% more commission deal by deal. So if Sunrun's giving the customer $200 a month, and so are we. If Sunrun's making $5,000, we're making $15,000. Yep. So we don't sell stuff that high. So I mean, we have saved. If you line 10 solar reps up, each one of them are going to give you a different number. So I just tell people, like, shop around, do your homework, look how long the company's been in business. You know, what are they doing?
100%. No, dude, I'll give you an example, and this one's gonna hit home for both of us because, like, Josh just bought his house in San Isidro, right? Did he send it to you at all? Okay, so really nice house, no solar on it. It's a beauty, right? No solar at all. Now, Josh is already in a position where he's renting the house out. He's making commission on the. He's gonna make residuals on the house due to what he's starting up. But I asked Josh, I'm like, hey man, how many panels do you think you could fit on this house, you know? And he kind of guesstimated it for me. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what, dude, this guy's gonna make his own freaking commish off of this.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's beautiful. No, I think it's a beautiful thing, especially for somebody like him. Like if I was in that same field where and I would love to be, like buying property left and right and doing the same thing that he's doing, I think that's fantastic. I think it's a beautiful thing because agents win off of this, especially like for example, Josh is his own, you know, he's a solar representative. So I'm not going to sit there and be like, hey Josh, pay me, you know, commission for something you already do. I'm not going to do that. But like any other clients, like if I have clients that I can refer over, like that's something that's beautiful for us is we can make commission off of it ourselves.
Yeah. So I just had a lender in LA. He bought a house. It was like, I don't know, west or not in LA, but near there. He did his solar, and I paid him $38,500 for his own property. that was his commission.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
shout out to Hector Duran, great guy in LA area. He was actually an actor too. He was in multiple movies. I was like, damn.
No way.
But yeah, you a lot of people don't know. They don't know they're sleeping on solar. I go to all these real estate offices all over the place, and I'm like, do you know that? And I know everybody's partnered with a sales rep, and that rep is paying them like $1,000 or $1,500.
No, yeah,
you guys, do you know how much these deals are worth? Like, I'll give you half the commission.
Oh my gosh, no, I that's one thing that I truly appreciate, and Josh has always been very like straightforward with me on that respect, bro. if I refer somebody over to you guys, I know that I'm not going to be like paid like a pansy. You know what I mean? I'm you guys would take care of me very, very well. Now, I got a question for you as a business owner, right? What lessons, because you're in a great position, right? I don't, let me actually, before I even ask this question, so how many solar representatives do you have underneath you right at this moment?
15.
15. Okay. So you said at one point it was 70? Okay, now it's down to 15. That's okay because this is a part of scaling business. Now, I guess my question for you at this moment is what lessons have you learned from your door-to-door like knocks? What lessons have you learned that still apply to this day?
Yeah, man. So I'm a very probably emotional person,
Okay.
right? Like when I started, if somebody said something to me when I was knocking on their door, I would take it very personally. It would ruin my day. Like I remember I was knocking in North County. This dude, I'm pretty sure he was in the NFL. Like this dude, the house was big. This dude was big as hell, and he was pissed. Like, and it ruined my entire day. That was right when I started. So the biggest thing that I've learned is like, hey, leave that interaction at the door. Don't let it affect my next interaction because if I'm taking that pissed off negative energy to the next customer, I'm not going to be doing that great. The other thing is protecting my time. Like I said, I have hired and recruited hundreds of people, and I have wasted so much time with wrong people. Even to this day, like I spoke in front of 130 realtors, and I told them exactly what we should be doing, and they just, dude, this one guy's just sending me like putting me on a text thread with a bunch of people like, hey, this is Bob, this is Anthony, he needs solar, and I'm like, dude, I have protecting my time has
Yeah.
become the most important thing, especially because I have family, a business.
Yep.
So those pretty much the two things. Business and emotions don't really mix. Separating them, letting. And again, I love people on the level where if I'm working with you, man, and you come to me and you're like, Anthony, I'm struggling. Like I just paid somebody today $5,000 advance commission. They need it.
Wow.
I mean,
No. No.
I've helped out people that still haven't paid me back, but I know that that is what needs to be done because I heard somebody, I don't know who said it, but they said business, like you know the saying, it's not personal, man, it's just business.
Yeah. No, of
Business
course.
should be personal.
Yeah.
When you act as business is personal, people are going to be like, damn, this dude actually, he is going to take care of me. I know if some stuff goes bad, it's personal for him.
Correct.
So, yeah.
No, no, it's a beautiful thing, bro. It's a beautiful thing, and the problem is though is no, like, so Andy is a great guy. Like he's winking at me. He knows. No, he's a great guy. But I'm like it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting thing here because at the same time, people in business, I don't think a lot of people realize, bro, like the sacrifice that has to be made by the leader. So I've read this before in multiple books. I read a book on it's called Lincoln on Leadership, and I really recommend it. Actually, I just bought one of my best friends, Xavier, and Andy knows him too. He's a realtor, great kid. But there's this book that I highly, highly recommend about leadership. And one thing is that with leaders, sometimes you have to see things that the people behind you don't have to see. That's the point of being a leader, right? Is you are leading people, and you have to sometimes see the things that the people that are following you don't have to see. That's what puts you in that position. And so I say that to say, like, when you're a leader, sometimes you see the discrepancies in like certain people, right? You understand that human error is like that not every human is flawless. Everybody's got an issue. Even me. All of us. We all have issues. But the fact that you're like that passionate of an owner, bro, and you're willing to front people like 5 Gs, like that means a lot, bro. That means you see the potential in that person to say, hey, you know what, brother? Like, you're going through a tough time now, but you're not always going to go through a tough time, right? You have potential in you. And so I got to admire you for that, bro. Like, I think that is really cool. That says a lot about you as an owner. And I kind of aspire to be like an owner like that myself, right? Like, I hope that one day I could change people's life in that same respect.
I think the best, well, my kind of definition of leadership is you want to have a leader who sees more potential in you than you see in yourself. If you have that type of leader who's going to have a little bit of a flame to your ass, and the thing is, like, some of my guys will be crushing it and killing it, and I'm not impressed because I'm like, dude, yeah, cool. I paid you 55 G's this month, but you
Yep.
barely worked, bro. Nobody's proud of. I'm not proud of that. You
Yeah.
might be fooling your friends and family, but I know you're not even really doing what you should be doing. So I think, yeah, the best thing is getting with a leader that is gonna hold you to the highest standard.
Absolutely. And so let me give you an example, bro. Like Josh. So this is one of our best friends, right? He's obviously one of your mentees. You help him out, you train him, you teach him, and he looks up to you for for a reason. He looks up to you for a reason. Josh has always been like my big brother. Picture it this way: like I've watched him hustle, bustle, come from the mud. There's a reason that like I take what he says very seriously. So like when he's sitting there telling me that you're chewing his ass out, I'm attracted to that. I want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Like in whether it's real estate, whether it's solar, it doesn't matter. But like I want to attach myself to something like that because you're right, dude. You see something where like, oh, you made $55,000 this week. Great, good for fucking you. But can you do better? Like that's the mentality of a one percenter. And Andy knows this very well because I just talked to him today about as a business owner, you have self-doubt, bro. I have my own self-doubt. I'm 25 years old. I have my own self-doubt. But at the same time, it's like, okay, like, dude, you know the area you're going to, you know the people you're mentoring, you're pushing them to that direction. It's like, you as a leader can see the potential of people. I think that's so cool, bro. Like beyond anything, as an entrepreneur, like I gotta tip my hat off to you. I think that is one of the fucking dopest things, bro. Which leads me to ask you, right? I think one of the biggest things, and this is what I wanted to get to the synopsis of, is like legacy, right? So you're killing it in solar. You're helping other people kill it in solar. What does legacy look like to you? What does that mean to you?
Really, it just comes down to my children. I wanna have something that they can take, something real, even if it's not even a company, but they can see my work ethic and what I've done, and because I know what my father gave me. I've talked about it a little bit, but I was Child Protective Services was called. I don't even remember. I think I got arrested as a juvenile. They told me like
No way.
17 times or something that Child Protective Service was called for me. So like my father, all that I was given from him was like fear and pain. And my legacy, I want my boys. That's it. I just want my children to become leaders.
So I'm not trying to sway away from the legacy and everything, but I kind of want to expand on that, man, because I too, like, I have my own issues with my own father, right? Like I kind of want to pick your brain on that, like how much of the shit that you went through in your past has made you what you are today.
Dude, well, I mean, 100% of it. Like
Like,
yeah. So
would you accredit like I guess what I mean to say to like even like double it down, right? Because like I know jumping into the military is one thing, right? That's one form of structure. But how much of it is you saying, "Fuck that! I want to be better than my old man. I want to love my kids. I want to work harder. I want to be stronger. I want to be better." Like what? How much of that is in your heart?
not really like fuck him, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was in the past, right? He died when I was like 3 days before my 9th birthday.
Rest in peace.
So when I was 8 years old, I lived with him in Oregon. My mom was here in
Where in
California.
Oregon?
Medford.
Okay.
I lived with him, and every night I would pray to be pretty much like rescued. I don't even know how I knew to pray. I don't think I used to go to church, but I had a lot of hate in my heart for him and my mother,
Right.
and so I used to have that mentality, but now it's like I'm more of like, man, if somebody can hurt their child, I'd never wanted to be a father. I was scared because I'm like, dude, if I don't want to do that to my son, like.
Right.
I'm talking about severe psychological abuse where I remember I had a babysitter one time. My dad and his girlfriend left. I did something. I must have been 6 or 7. They put me in to stay in the push-up position, and the babysitter came and they left. My dad and his girlfriend left, and the babysitter's like, "Oh, you can get up now." And I was like, "No, I can't." And I
Oh my
think I
God.
stayed there probably for like 2 hours.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, damn, what happened to that dude?
Yeah.
Like how bad was his father or his upbringing to hurt his own kid? So
Yeah.
when my son was born, whew, all of like I was literally scared. I'm like, dude, I don't want to beat the shit out of my kid. I don't want to be a father. And then when my
Right.
when my son was born and I held him, like all that fear went away. It's like, what? How? I would die for him. I'd kill somebody for him. So
Yeah.
like that fear went away big time.
No, I think man, Anthony, like I got to tell you, bro, I'm in that boat with you. Like, I love my dad. I think he taught me a lot of business. I grew up, my dad became super spiritual, like Christian, but prior to that, my dad was not he grew up a very tough life because of his father. My grandfather was a abusive alcoholic, right? He's very, my uncle that I told you about, like, he was the one that took the brunt of it all. My grandpa was like one of those people. He would burn his kids with like fucking. He would put a fork over a fire to sear it in his kid's skin. So my grandparents, like, my grandma loved her kids, but she was from Iraq. It's a different story. Like, they don't get involved with their kids like that. And anyways, nonetheless, I share that to say, like, I don't have like the perfect relationship with my father, man, but I will say this, like, there's a lot of good things that I've learned from him, but there's also a lot of bad things that happened to me where I'm like, you know what, man, like, my mind can never forget that. Right. And I think it's pushed me to be the type of person that I am today. And from what it seems like as I get to know you and I'm talking to you, bro, like, I think that it's done the same thing to you, bro. It's made a great person out of you. Instead of a lot of people, what they do when they go through like family curses or generational curses, what they do is they tend to repeat the same shit. Point blank, period. As I've grown older, I realized, like, I have a daughter, right? I don't have 2 sons. I wish I want a son, but I have a daughter, and God humbled me with that daughter, and it taught me a lot, man. It taught me, like, dude, I can't even imagine laying a finger on my daughter. I used to get my ass whooped, like, bell, whatever. I used to get my ass whooped. You're talking about like timeout for hours. It's like fucked up. But the way I look at it is like, man, that shit built me into the type of entrepreneur that I want to be. I know it sounds fucking like savage and terrible, but it taught me a lot of things through that. And so I'm glad you were able to share that, bro, because like there's some in the midst of like the turmoil and trauma that you go through in your own heart, bro. There's some beauty through that picture, and the beauty is your kids, right? Like legacy. The beauty is your kids. Now, how do your kids factor into the vision you're trying to build for your future now? Your kids are little. How old are your kids, by the way?
One, Mr. Jaden turns 5,
Mr. Jaden.
July,
Okay.
and his brother Aiden is 9 years old.
9 years old. So 9 and 5 years old. Now, how do your kids fit into your vision? If you don't mind me asking.
I mean, that's just the fuel for the vision, right? That's the fuel and the reason that we just keep showing up consistently every single day, no matter what. It's not easy. Like, I mean, just like you said earlier, as a leader, there's times where you have to pretend everything is going good at the front of the ship, even though you know that, right, there's a big storm right there. You still have to be positive and lead from the front and show up no matter what. And my kids are a big piece of that. Is just, I mean, I got divorced, and, you know, it is cheaper to keep her, probably for a fact. But I mean,
This motherfucker.
my boys, it's that fuel and motivation that I have to keep showing up.
Everybody goes through pain and hurt, whether it's through death, whether it's through self-doubt, whether it's through rejection is actually a big one. Like, what are some of the personal or professional milestones that you're still aiming for through the turmoil?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it wasn't, dude. It's weird. A lot of people, like, I got life insurance after another policy after I got divorced, and my ex-wife is the beneficiary, and the life insurance person's like, "What the fuck? Like, what do you mean?
Are you
Like,
guys
she's taking care of my children. Like, who the hell am I supposed to give the money to?" So, like, our relationship, we got married literally 2.5 months in the Navy.
No
We
way.
got married after two and
Was
a
she
half
Navy
months.
too?
No, she was working on base.
Okay.
So she was from the Philippines. We got married after 2.5 months, coupled with the trauma that I had endured the 20 years up to meeting her. Right, me dumping all of that on her. Nothing was her fault. It was 100% my fault. But yeah, our relationship is
So
we're doing what we needed. I'm doing what I need to do for my children. So it really wasn't a divorce of like hatred, or a lot of people go through some crazy shit.
it's fine,
Yeah, I mean, she's a great mother.
dude.
My boys are, every time someone sees my boys, they're like, "Oh, these are really great children." So,
Anthony, shout out to you, bro. I think that's something that's admirable and beautiful, bro. At the end of the day, like it takes a real mature person to sit there and talk about that, bro.
it is still cheaper to keep her.
No,
I
no.
mean, dude, you're talking like what, 7,500 a month?
I mean,
That's
hey.
But hey, you know what? Some people have said, "Hey, why don't you make her move to an apartment?" Like, I don't want my children living in an apartment.
no, bro.
There's too many Section 8 around here in Eastlake. It's going downhill.
Nah, yeah, you're right. You ain't bullshit. Millennia. All right, there you go. Millennia. That's a shot to you. No, but you know what, bro? Hey, it takes a fucking man with balls to say that. And I hate to say that, but it's true. It's like, look, end of the day, you love. It sounds like you actually still love. You have love for your baby mama, and as you should. That's always going to be a part of your life, dog. Always going to be a part of your life. Now, wrapping up here, like what are some things that Anthony Castillo wants people to remember here in the next 20 years? What are some key things that, as you're, I've had the privilege. Let me just pause really quick. I've had the privilege of actually like interviewing you today. Very fucking cool dude. You've accomplished a lot of great things, and I think just like you've pushed on a lot of your mentees, right? A lot of the people that you train and teach. I want to ask you this question in particular because you have something, Anthony, that's very attractive in a non-homosexual way. We have something that's very attractive. And
Hey, it is Pride Month, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
No, it is Pride Month, but it is attractive, and I think that one thing that I think the audience wants to know is like how you've built this thing, dude. And I don't think this is just the end. I think it's like $150 million ain't shit. You're young. I'm young too, but you're young. $150 million ain't shit. So where does Anthony Castillo land in the next 20 years? What does he want to do outside? I want to talk outside of solar because I think you're a pretty entrepreneurial guy, bro. I don't think solar's your end. I cannot see you being fucking 80 years old knocking doors. So I want to know, what does 20 years from now look like for Anthony Castillo?
20 years, man. That's too far down the road, bro. We're just
Shorten
trying
it
to
up.
get. We're trying to get to the next year. So my goal, my number one goal is just finding somebody who's in a spot where they don't feel like they have a way out. That's where I was. I was stuck in a cubicle. I've been extremely depressed, and I want to be somebody that they can see and say, "Hey, man, this dude went through all of this turmoil." I mean, I've had some pretty bad dreams. And my only goal is to take somebody and to allow them an opportunity to completely change their life. And so that's my goal. Whether, that's 10 more people or 2,000 people, that's my biggest legacy, is the people that have come aboard and have been able to purchase, multiple properties, or be the first person in their family to purchase a property.
Correct.
That's my goal. The next 2 to 20 years is just helping people transform their mindset and their belief, and let them know, like, hey, you could do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Correct, man. I love that. I want to second that on myself. My short-term, long-term goal is I would love to build a real estate team that is some people want to hire as many people as possible so they can try to make as much money as possible. Not my job. I want to be the Steve Jobs of my industry. I want to create the best fucking product that the world has ever seen between my peers, my colleagues, my mentees. I want to create something that's different, that disrupts the industry for life. And that's something that I got to tell you, bro, like from talking to you, I think you've done. And I think you're doing. I think you've done. I think you will continue to do. I feel like Anthony Castillo is not going to do solar for his entire life. I want to interview you again, like not even 20 years. Like, let's do 5 years from now. Sooner. Doesn't matter. We could do this every 6 months. But I don't think that Anthony Castillo is going to be doing solar for life. You're a very intelligent guy, bro. Andy knows, like all my podcasts that I've done, I don't say this shit lightly. You got something good going on, bro, but your brain, as I'm sitting here talking to you, you seem like a calm guy, but I can see it festering with ideas. You know, you're on the right track. I think I think solar is a space you're gonna fucking murder. But I think that something that is great beyond you that you're gonna touch is not even solar. I think it's something even crazier than that. And I think Andy sees that. Even just talking to Andy, he knows. I call him. Brian gave me this idea, but he's the white dad. He's my white dad. He's my white dad. He is. No, I'm telling you, Anthony.
That's great.
I love solar for you, bro. I think I'm gonna give you fucking deals, bro. As I continue to close real estate, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna plug you with people like Davey. I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna take care of you. But at the same time, I don't think this is your end goal, bro. I think you're a very creative guy. I think you're gonna fucking do amazing, amazing things. I don't know what that entails, but I sure as fuck cannot wait to see it happen. I'm gonna be your best friend until then, because I believe in you, dude. I think that this has been a great format for me to learn quite a bit about you. As we dwindle down and we end out this show, man, I hope you feel the same way about me, man. I like
100%, man.
Yeah, don't like I know we've shot a lot of DMs back and forth, but don't hesitate to speak into my life. Andy's a great guy. I don't take his opinion lightly. When he tells me you're a good guy, I take that shit very personally. So with that being said, I'm going to fire off with a couple rapid fire questions. This is supposed to be more lighthearted to end the podcast. So I'm going to fire them off pretty quick. What is a morning ritual or habit that Anthony Castillo does that makes him successful?
Dude, I do the same thing every morning. It's probably pretty bad. I wake up, put my shirt on, put my lanyard on, and I buy a bottle of water and one of these every single day from the gas station. That's my little routine.
And you drink it?
Yeah. That puts me in the mindset of like, hey, I have my lanyard on. I have to go to work. I gotta start working.
I like that, bro. It could have been worse. I thought you were going to say, like, you do a line of Coke, and then you know. But no. Good. What is your favorite family activities between your two boys? And let's include your ex-spouse in this one, because I think she plays a vital part in your kid's life. So what are the favorite family activities that you guys like to do at the moment?
I mean, dude, honestly, it's just every day. I mean, just they know that I'm there. So, I mean, every night we go on he calls it a scooter ride. Oh. So we go on a scooter ride every single night. We have a flashlight, look for some bugs. But that's just these little things that I know for them, they're going to look back, because I always think, like, what do I have to remember that I did with my dad? Right. So I know, like, you know, just these little things that I'm doing with them, they're going to remember it.
Correct.
It don't have to be something big, but it's just the consistency of every single day.
Yeah. No. I mean, same thing, bro. Like my favorite activity in the mornings when I wake up is, so my daughter doesn't wake up till like 1 o'clock. We're joking around till like, we're joking around on the last podcast, and I was saying, you know, my daughter didn't go sleep till like 2 a.m. And it's funny because she won't wake up till like 1 o'clock, bro. So she's like a little teenager herself. She's like 13 months.
Oh, yeah.
But she's like a little teenager.
They need 12 hours.
Yeah. But my favorite family activity, I don't care what part of the day it is, when I wake up in the morning, bro, and that little girl, I pick her up from her bed and she puts her little head on my shoulders, I die inside a little. Every time I die. Because it's like you don't know love until your kids show you how much they love you, bro. Fuck. I die on the inside.
100%.
All right. So question number 3, go-to song to get fired up. What fires you up?
I don't. I listen to Andy Frisella, bro.
No song?
If you guys don't listen to Andy Frisella, the podcast MFCEO, I mean, it's different now. It's real AF, but no song really. It's just podcast for me.
You know, for me, I'm in the same boat because I have certain songs that do fire me up. I love my game by the life, or my life by the game, I should say, fires me up. But as far as like podcasts go, the PBD podcast is like, it turns me on. Actually, my uncle, believe it or not, he has a call today, 15-minute phone call with Vincent Oshana from the PBD podcast.
Nice.
He's supposed to be doing that today. I got to tell you more about my uncle. We'll talk about this after the podcast, but he's I need to hook you up with him, bro. He would love you. All right. Next question would be number 1 book or podcast right now. Obviously, I think you said Andy Frisella, right? So,
yeah, biggest my favorite books, David Goggins.
Oh, I love that.
The David Goggins books.
Fuck your feelings.
Pretty much my favorite. Yeah.
David Goggins is crazy.
Can't Hurt Boat Crew too.
Correct.
Boat Crew too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, correct.
So.
On that same note, actually, David Goggins, I'm actually supposed to be interviewing Robert O'Neill. So Robert O'Neill, if you hear this, he's the guy who killed Osama bin Laden. If you hear this, I'm coming after you, brother. We're going to be doing an interview pretty soon here. I've been working with your sister Chris to get you on, but we'll be working on that here shortly. I'd love to have somebody like Anthony on here to help me with that. That'd be pretty cool to do a co-host or something, maybe. Nonetheless, what's your dream business venture next?
Dream business venture next would be probably opening up at a bakery, feeding some people.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of random.
Yeah, it is.
So okay, we'll talk about that. What's kind of like brought you into the bakery type of setting?
It's good food, man. I like making food. And
is it pastries with sugar that turns you on, or what is it?
So I'll bring you some. Next time we make some.
This guy told me you brought him some today or yesterday. Was it today, Andy, or yesterday? Today? Yeah. So I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I love the fact that you're doing something you love, bro. Food is one of those things you could sit over and talk about with anybody from any language at any time. So
yeah,
it's a language in and of itself. What is some of the best advice or best advice for aspiring entrepreneurs? What would you give an entrepreneur today? What kind of advice would you say, hey, this is something you need to know right off the bat?
The biggest piece of advice is just 130% effort for 6 months. Like that's the biggest thing that a lot of people don't do is they have 2 or 3, 4, 5 different projects that they're trying to do. And at the end of the day, if you're competing against somebody who's putting 150% effort into one thing and you have 3 or 4 different things on the table, you're going to lose all the time. So just go 100% in.
I love that, bro. I love that. You're speaking my language, man. Last question before I close this out is what makes Anthony Castillo happiest in life?
It's just like power naps.
Shut the fuck.
Power nap. Yeah, dude, taking a nap with my 4-year-old boy.
Oh,
that's
I see that.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like that's the best thing in the world. Is that he's a little sleepy, and then I need to take a nap, and it just I'll take 10, 15 minutes. He'll go for like an hour and a half.
Bro, Camila, my daughter, I shit you not, bro. So her mom works 6 to 6. Like I said, I put her through nursing school. It was not an easy ride for me as a realtor. There were some months where I pulled money out of my ass to make shit happen. I say all that to say, like, there's nothing like taking a little quick power nap with my daughter. I totally 100%, I speak that language with you. That's right up my alley. And so that was the last question that I had for Anthony. Thank you for answering the rapid fire questions. If this episode hit home, please, and I sincerely mean this, guys, please go show Anthony Castillo and Eminent Energy some massive love. Massive. I don't even care if I have 100 people watching this video. go follow, go subscribe. This guy he's a really cool guy, man. I actually can see myself in the future here making fucking thousands of dollars with him just based on this podcast because he's a great guy. Follow him, support Eminent Energy's mission to bring clean energy to our communities, and reach out if you're ready to elevate your mindset and your life. And remember, as always, like I do on every podcast, and Anthony, you'll see, I do this on every podcast, mental health matters. Josh taught me this. If you're struggling with mental health, call me, reach out to me, reach out to Anthony, actually. We're shapeshifters and benders here in the industry. Like, we're not disruptors for no reason. We work with the low of the low and the high of the high. It does not matter. If you're struggling, reach out to either one of us. Our DMs are open 24/7. You are not alone. If you're going through depression, whatever the heck you may be going through, we are here to help you and take care of you. I don't know if you have anything to say on top of that.
Yeah, my Instagram is outworking you. So out_working_you. So hit me up.
Yeah. And I love that. Because that's one of the things that's, like I said, has attracted me to his page, and one of the reasons we're even doing this podcast today. I love that mentality, outworking you. I'm not a basic realtor myself. I don't give a fuck. I'll work harder than any other realtor in this space, given the opportunity. So with that being said, with the end of June the Realtor episode number 8, I want to thank you guys sincerely. I am not jack shit without any of you. I am hopeful that you guys will refer me some clients, or you guys will refer Anthony some clients, because at the end of the day, we do this to help out those around us. And so we're building something here together. If you got any value out of this video, please subscribe, please comment, please like, and please follow. Thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.